What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Every Boss, Every Drop. And we are actually finally back with another episode. But before we get into it, today I have a little spice onto this episode, alright? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, alright? Here we go. Let me know in the comments below what you think that was. Anyway, before we get into anything else, if you guys do enjoy my content, want to know when I go live or when I post, go ahead and subscribe and turn on those notifications to know when I do. But today, we do have the Foundry Freaks. So let's get into it. Alright, the Foundry Freaks are actually located within the Faded Fields, the Idolator's Noose, and then at the bottom left, underneath Idolator Soul's place, you will find the actual boss fight. Now, this boss fight, like any other sites, starts with a horde of enemies spawning, and then you have to beat them, and after a certain amount of enemies, the boss will spawn, or, should I say, bosses for this actual site. We have Frank the Furnace, Sal the Engineer, and Hank the Welder. Hank and Sal are pretty basic enemies. They just melee and chase. Frank, though, can actually do some damage. I've had him ruin some runs in the past. So I recommend, kind of maybe focusing Frank first. He actually has range. He has a lot of the meteors and this fire wave. It can devastate you. But the bosses actually do start out with armor. So if you have a corrosion weapon, then it will do extra damage, and then they switch to their health, in which case I would switch to a fire element to really take them down. Of course, with this kind of build, you don't need to do that. I wouldn't say it's that hard of a boss fight, but I know some people can have trouble with more than one boss. So I'd recommend sitting on top of that skull you saw me sitting in for those first few enemies, especially if you're running the Vex build I'm running, or maybe you just run a good auto shoot build. But otherwise, once they spawn in, I recommend solely focusing them, trying to get them killed. Now, of course, I leave the extra enemies for if I go down, I can get back up. But otherwise, the fight's straightforward, just kill them. Otherwise, guys, we will actually get into the weapons after these runs end. Alright, here we have the Chaumurky. The Chaumurky is an order grenade mod, so you know what that means. Homing in. But with Chaumurky, you actually have even more homing in, which is its special mod called Incessant. I actually really like this grenade mod, but I will say the damage isn't crazy. But of course, I don't have any really points into the ordnance specialty, so I don't really have that increase from the gun damage that you can have or the cooldowns. So I think it could get really good, but let's actually get into the gameplay. Alright, so here we have the Chaumurky. I will say, sometimes, like this, the grenade just kind of, it just kind of does what it wants, and fly away into the ether. And then you gotta sit here, and you gotta regen a grenade. But when it does lock on, it will hit them like 6 or 7 times, Otherwise, it doesn't have that much damage. Sorry. So sorry. I'm gonna keep this in the video. I don't know why I made that joke. It was a bad joke. But, sorry. Anyways, it doesn't have that much damage, but it is fun. And if you're starting out or needing a grenade that you don't really want to think where you're throwing it, I'd say this is one of the best ones that you can get. Now, as you can see with the vile enemies, no, it's not a good grenade mod. But I'm gonna let this finish out, and I will see you guys for the next weapon, the Chuck. Alright, and here we have the Chuck. The Chuck is a TDR assault rifle, and I just have to say, I love this weapon. I love it. It is so fun to use, and it makes just some fun moments again. And if you want some buffoonery, I recommend it, okay? The special skill is actually called Picture, which, you just throw the weapon. There's no shooting. It's just, like the name implies, you're chucking it, bitch. And it is amazing. If you have any kind of AoE damage or the Rafa TDR skills, I mean, I think this could be one of your main weapons, if not the main weapon. But let's actually get into the gameplay and show you the beauty that is the Chuck. Alright guys, and here we have it, the beauty that is the Chuck. And just like the name implies, you're chucking this bitch, alright? And I will say, I don't even have AoE or the Rafa skills to even do this. And this weapon does some nasty fucking damage. And, yo, when you fight vile enemies, it shreds those crystals off of them. I recommend this for anyone that just wants to have some fun again, or you have the Rafa build, and this is one of your main weapons. And I would love to see what this weapon will do on a Rafa that is spec'd out all for it. But yeah, I will let this finish out, and we will actually go to the last weapon, the Lumberjack. Alright, and here we have the Bloody Lumberjack. The Bloody Lumberjack is a Daedalus AR, and oh my god, I found an assault rifle I can actually use and does some actually nice damage. The special weapon for this skill is actually called Timber. No, I'm just kidding, it's just Timber. But what it makes it do is it shoots little like buzzsaws or axes, and I believe it penetrates, but to be honest, I haven't been able to really get into it and see. I wish we had a camera mode that I could check. So let me know if you know in the comments or anything like that. But let's actually get into the gameplay of this beautiful AR. Alright guys, so like I was talking about, the Lumberjack actually shoots buzz axes or saws, whichever I believe it's called. But the damage is quite up there. And as you guys can see, I have the Oscar mic, and it actually allows it to the fire rate even better, and I feel like that's really good for it. But I recommend this for anyone to go and farm if you just need an AR or a good weapon. I know it could, I don't know, it can possibly drop with the Jacobs on it. I would try to farm for that if you can. I don't know if it can come with that, but this weapon is great. Go and get it. I will let the gameplay finish out for a little bit, and I will see you all soon. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I'm gonna go eat some fries and farm some more gear. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and like and subscribe and let me know, what did you guys hear at the start of the intro? Just saying. Anyways guys, I hope you guys have a good night or good day, whichever is for you. And bye bye!